For me, pocket knives are first and foremost a tool, something you use throughout your day to make tasks easier. And that task could be something as simple as opening a package, prepping some food, or, well, cutting stuff. It's just not convenient or safe to carry around a full pair of scissors in your pocket, although your knife might have a tiny pair of scissors on it, and you'll be surprised how handy a solid pocket knife can come in when added to your everyday carry. Today, we're going to go over a few reasons why you should carry a pocket knife, what to look for when buying a new knife, and just some best practices overall. So let's jump in. First, the best thing to do is know your local knife laws. I cannot stress this enough, but the laws in your area can be very different from someone else's. Look up your local laws regarding the carry of knives and know if this is something that you're even allowed to do. The last thing you'd want to do is get into hot water for carrying something that you use to open up a simple box. It's just not worth it. Things to adhere to usually include blade length, deployment method, usually look out for spring-assisted blades, those are usually a no-no, and even the locking mechanism can be outlined in the laws. After that, you should just look for something that appeals to you. Just like watches, there are no shortage of brands, designers, materials, and blade shapes to consider. It's very similar in a lot of ways. The world of pocket knives is extremely varied, and that's a huge part of what makes it cool for me. Some things to consider are the size of the blade, how it opens up, how it stays locked, and what material it's made from. Let's take a look at the blade size and shape. A good blade size to start with is usually between 2.5 and 3.5 inches. It's small enough so that it complies with most knife laws and also doesn't come off as too scary or tactical if you break it out in the office or something. Now, I'm not saying you should go around your office and take out knives and scare people, but maybe you want to prep your lunch or open up a box, and sometimes, breaking out something that would be more suited to Rambo just doesn't really fit in with flat front khakis. As far as blade shapes go, some of the most common shapes are a drop point, a sheep's foot, a clip point, and a straight back. They're each suited for slightly different tasks, but any of those shapes will get the job done. There's also material considerations. Again, drawing parallels to the watch world with all their different steels and alloys, there's so many considerations to take into account when picking out a knife. The scales, which you may know as a handle, can be made from virtually anything, ranging from plastic to resin to G10, titanium, steel, various metals, micarta, you name it. So there's a lot of different things to look for. And ultimately, you want to find something that you think looks good and feels good in hand. Blade steel is something to look at too. Since there are different grades of blade steel, they all have slightly different strengths and weaknesses. You can't go wrong with something like Elmax or MagnaCut on the higher end, or AUS 8 or 420HC on the lower end. Those are typically what you'd find in like a $50-ish knife. If you're just dipping your toes into the world of pocket knives, pick a budget, stick to it, and there'll be plenty of options for you within that world. The next thing to consider is how you open your knife. So the way your knife opens is an important consideration as well. There are plenty of options available here too, and you might be sensing a trend. There are a lot of different things to pay attention to when it comes to a pocket knife. You could go for something traditional like a nail nick, which is a small indentation in the blade that you use to unfold the knife. There could be a thumb stud attached to the blade, which helps you push the blade open with your thumb. Or there could be something like even as simple as a large hole in the blade that acts the same way but has a different aesthetic. There's another option which is kind of fun called a flipper. On the back of the blade, there's a small tab that you push down on, which propels a bearing-mounted blade out of the handle but has no outside forces like a spring acting on it. So it's a fully manual opening mechanism. There are also fully automatic knives that just pop out with a button and spring mechanism, but usually those are kind of trending more towards illegal everywhere. So you also want to pay attention to how your knife stays locked. Each locking mechanism has their own strengths and weaknesses, and there is a cool factor involved too. A simple liner lock is the most common, which provides a sturdy lockup via a bent piece of metal that slides into place when the knife is opened. To close it, you just push it out of the way with your thumb and close it up. A variation on this is the frame lock, where the locking mechanism is made from one of the handles itself. Usually a piece of metal like titanium that's flexible will lock the blade up, and you push it out of the way the same way as you would a liner lock, but it's a little beefier. There are other common mechanisms like the axis lock, the slip joint, and more. I'd suggest taking a look at all the different options and then seeing what appeals to you and take it from there. Hopefully now you have a better idea of where to start if you've been pocket knife curious. Blades are some of the oldest tools known to man, and there's no denying that they still come in handy today, even if you're not doing caveman stuff and it's more like opening up that new watch box. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to let us know in the comments below what your favorite pocket knife is and what your favorite way to use it is, and we'll catch you next time.